Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel once again, and for this video I'm going to share my second team that I've used up in the GL remix over here for the season 17, and this team is so much fun to use. So for this team I'm using my Shadow Poliwrath over here as a lead with a safe swap of Vigoroth, which is I believe the ranked #1 safe swap in this meta as well, alongside my closure over here being Mandibuzz in this scenario. So I wanted to build a team with a Vigoroth safe swap because how strong it is, and since Vigoroth being a normal type, it is kind of weak to fighting. That is the reason I am using my Poliwrath as my lead over here to counter those fighters. And since Poliwrath being fighting and water, it needs coverage against psychic, fairies, grass, electric, everything. So that is the reason Vigoroth being normal is a very neutralistic matchup. So that is the reason it is really good in this meta. And apart from that, Shadow Poliwrath does really good against those top meta mons, be it Carbink, be it Whiscash, the Mandibuzz, be it the Skarmory. So it really works good, and with shields it really can put down the opponent's shields as well. So that is the reason I'm using it as my lead. And for my closer I'm using Mandibuzz because to counter those weaknesses to Poliwrath over here, maybe a Jellicent, maybe a Frostlass, like that, those ghost types. So that is the thought process that I had while building this team up. So this team in terms of pen and paper, it is not that good because the coverage is C and the bulk is B. That is fine, but still playable. But while I was playing with this team was so much good and so much fun to use. So I picked up 3 positive sets, being it 3-2, 5-0 and 4-1, and 1 negative set being 2-3. So without further more delay, let's quickly jump into the first battle. I pick up a lead against Probopass over here, which will be safe swapping into Decidueye over here, which is going to be hard-walled by my Mandibuzz over in this scenario, because Mandibuzz really have a tough matchup against the Probopass. So that is the reason I'll be safe swapping out, and Probopass does not have anywhere to go because I have my own counter user in the backline being Vigoroth over here as well. So Probopass, the only matchup that I was having weak against Probopass is going to be the Mandibuzz, which is out now, and the Decidueye is already down. So I'll be going for chip damage with Dark Pulse, which is fine, which does almost 20% damage, which I am fine with. And now I'll be going for the next Dark Pulse as well. So from this kind of range, if they're wanting to farm me down, so that is the reason I will be safe swapping out into my own Poliwrath once again, and I'll be shielding up the first potential Thunderbolt, which it wasn't, and the final Pokemon that they have access to is going to be Poliwrath of their own. And since I was having advantage on energy, so I'll be going for the first Scald that does draw out the shield from my opponent's end, and the attack is dropped as well, which is going to be nice for me because now the next Scald will be doing less damage, and I can reach to the next call just in time before they could farm me down with counter over here. So next call coming in. So though it is debuffed right now, but it still does get the final shield from my opponent's end, and now from this kind of range they will be going for the next Icy Wind. Icy Wind, it is super effective, but it is double debuffed right now. It does not take me out, so I have to go for the next Aerial Ace onto this Poliwrath that surely does take it out from this kind of range as well. And since it's a normal variant, it does not take it out, and even with the debuff it does not take it out. But now I have got a Mandibuzz, beg your pardon, I have got my Vigoroth coming back, going for the next body slam that does take out the Poliwrath over here, and that is going to be a good game for my first battle. Moving on with the second battle, I pick up a lead against Skarmory. So this is the good thing about Poliwrath over here, because though it's a fighter, and now Skarmory is using Steel Wing and not Aerial Ace, beg your pardon, not Aerial Ace, Air Slash. But since I'll be shielding up the first move, they'll be shielding up the first move, I'll be shielding up the first move as well. And as you guys can see, this Steel Wing is virtually doing no damage over here, though it will add up, but even with the debuff it does not care too much. And now I'll be going for the next call that does take out the Skarmory over here, to which the next Pokemon that they comes back in with is going to be a Gligar over here. So Gligar is really good for this meta as well, but since it outpaces me to the next Aerial Ace for a Poliwrath, I'll be safe swapping out into my own Mandibuzz over here. So they went for the first Aerial Ace, and then they'll be going for a bit of energy lead, and then they'll be switching out into their own bulky Lickitung over here. But Lickitung being so bulky, but since I was having so much advantage onto my Mandibuzz with energy, I'll be going for back-to-back Dark Pulses over here onto this tanky Lickitung. So this is the battle of the tanks over here. So Lickitung with that XL HP, it can hold up to 3 Dark Pulses over here, which is solid over in this scenario. And now I'll be going for the next third Dark Pulse over here, which is not enough to get the knockout as well, which I was quite sure. And now they swaps out into their own Gligar. In this scenario, I'll be going for the next Icy Wind that does take care of the final shield from my opponent's end as well, and it is going to be the best case scenario for me, which is going to be CMP tie, that which is again undercharged, and they get a bit of farm as well. And now from this kind of range, since their attack is dropped, so I'll be letting this first charge move go through, which ends up being a dig. It does not even hurt a bit. Like, it hurts a bit, but it is not that much. And now I'll be going for the first body slam that almost does 30-35% damage onto this Gligar over here, and I can let this next charge move go through as well, because Aerial Ace or Dig does not even take me out from this kind of range as well, and I can easily go for the next body slam that does take care of the Gligar for this battle. And they have a very low Lickitung in this battle remaining, which they surrender over here as well, getting me the win for the battle in this scenario. GG's to my opponent, and really well played. Moving on to the next battle, I pick up a lead against Abomasnow over here. I believe they are a normal variant. Yeah, it's a normal variant, so I'll be shielding up the first move, and I was scouting correctly, so they had 7 Powder Snow, so that is enough for an energy ball. So I'll be shielding up the first one, and I can let this next move go through, because it was 9 Powder Snow, so it is not even close to the next energy ball. And they comes back in with their the second Pokemon is going to be Charjabug over here. So I got the shield, which I have expended with my Poliwrath over here, and now I can switch out into my Vigoroth to get ahead on energy, which is a good matchup for Vigoroth as well, because their Volt Switch and Executor is debuffed right now, but I am having a bit of advantage with Rock Slide onto my Vigoroth over here, and the final Pokemon that they have access to is going to be a Skeledirge over here, which does not have which cannot farm me down from that kind of health with Incinerate. So they have to tank one Rock Slide, which does 75% of its health, and I can now easily come back with my own Mandibuzz and tank in those Disarming Voice over here. So though it will hurt, but it is not enough for a Mandibuzz to take me down. Then I can switch out into my Poliwrath, get the Scald through, and the final Pokemon that they have left out with is going to be their only Charjabug over here. Charjabug have a really good matchup against Mandibuzz as well, but since the tank of Mandibuzz is the most viable thing in this matchup, so I can easily go for the first Aerial Ace, which hits for neutral damage because it's part bug and part electric, and then I can go for the next Dark Pulse, which does enough neutral damage in this scenario over here to take out the Charjabug and give me the win for the third battle for this set and the video here as well. So GG's to my opponent, and really well played. Hopping into next battle, I pick up a lead against a very tough lead actually, which is going to be Whimsicott. So I'll be shielding up the first Seed Bomb or maybe Grass Knot, which is a Grass Knot. So I'll be shielding up the first one, and then I'll be going for the next Icy Wind of my own. So Icy Wind will get the shield from my opponent's end as well, and since they will be debuffed, I'll be trying to catch the next move onto my Vigoroth over here, which I execute perfectly. So Grass Knot coming in, which does not hurt too much because it's debuffed right now. And this kind of range, I am thinking that they are trying to catch the next move onto their Poliwrath, which they could not do. And now from this kind of range, I can easily go for the next Body Slam that does 50% of its health, and I can easily reach to the next one as well. So that is the power of Vigoroth over here. It does take out a Poliwrath from a full health, and that is the reason I am really liking the safe swap of Vigoroth over here, and I wanted to try to build a team around it. And moving on with the battle, I will be coming back with my own Poliwrath over here. I can charge up a bit of extra energy, and then I'll be going for the next Icy Wind. So Icy Wind might get the final shield, which they does not put, and the final Pokemon that they have access to is going to be a Whiscash. So Whiscash is not having a good matchup against Poliwrath because Mud Bomb is neutral, Scald is resisted right now, and since I go for the Icy Wind debuff, as a Mud Bomb does not even take me out from that kind of range, and I can easily switch out into my Mandibuzz over here because they are debuffed right now. So they'll be going for the next Scald, which barely does 15% of my Mandibuzz's health, and I can easily go for the next Dark Pulse, which is going to be hitting neutral damage, and it chunks as well. So from this kind of range, this game's already wrapped up because they are not having access to Blizzard, so they'll be going to throw back-to-back Scalds over here, which now they realize and top lift the game over here out of respect. So GG's. Hopping into the final battle of the video, as I said, I pick up a lead against Guzzlord over here, to which they safe swap out into a Paldean, Quagsire, or maybe a Clodsire. And I'll be going for the first Icy Wind that chunks as well. That is the really good opportunity, for a Poliwrath to counter or maybe go for a Scald, which I should have went for, but nevertheless I went for a cheaper Icy Wind. So now I'll be switching out into my Mandibuzz, and I'll be going for the next Dark Pulse, which does not even take it out. So that's how bulky Clodsire is, and from this kind of range they can easily go for back-to-back Stone Ages over in this scenario, but that will not be enough to get the knockout for me as well. So I do not want to risk my shields over here, so I'll be going for the next Aerial Ace that does put an end to the Clodsire, and they comes back with their Guzzlord as well once again. So Guzzlord is a really good thing for Remix Cup, what I feel, but I have to watch out for two things. The first thing is going to be Skarmory, and the second thing that I have to watch out for is Carbink. So I might try to build a team around Guzzlord someday, maybe in this season as well, but I have to see that. So I'll be going for the next call for the incoming Jellicent over here, which is really tough for this team as well, since especially my Mandibuzz is out right now. So I have to go for back-to-back calls over here onto this scenario, so I can let this next charge move go through as well, which I believe is going to be a Surf. And since it is debuffed, it does not even take me out, and for some reason they have undercharged it as well. This is what I feel. So I'll be going for the next call, which does put the Jellicent quite low, and now I will be switching out into my own Vigoroth to catch the next, I believe, a Shadow Ball or maybe a Surf. Yeah, it was a Surf, but it does not even knock me out, and now I believe they have top left the game over here. Maybe they have switched out, I'm not sure, but they are not coming back into the battle, which I feel because I caught the next move onto my Vigoroth. But nevertheless, since I'm having a counter user as well, Guzzlord would not have a really good matchup against Vigoroth, so I will be having enough energy to, I'll be having enough HP to counter them down and get the win for the final battle of the video and set as well. So this team was really fun for me to use, and Shadow Poliwrath have so much potential in this meta. So once you are covering the weaknesses for Grass, Electric, Fairies and Psychic, you are in a top tier position right now with this team. And how spammy and how good safe swap of Vigoroth is, which I have already played with. It's really awesome. So if you are trying out this team, do let me know how it is working out for you. And if you're liking the content onto this channel, do please like it, subscribe to it, and share it with your friends. And that's how I can grow my channel to the community, and I can even put out new videos and new teams to you guys as well. So that will be all for this video, and see you again in the next one with new teams and many more fun battles. Till then, peace.